What's going on, everybody? This is your boy JPTHEGLOVE74. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to react to WrestlinGifs's RAW. That 1000 episode was legendary. If you really think about that RAW episode from July 2012, the 1000 episode, it is, in my opinion, one of the best episodes in RAW history. You know, you got the return, you got the return of The Rock. You got the wedding with Dan Bryan and AJ Lee. When AJ Lee turned on Dan Bryan as she was announced as a new Raw general manager, and AJ Lee just skipping around the ring around Dan Bryan, chanting yes, yes, yes. Dan Bryan's like no, no, no. And also, let's see what else happened today. Oh yeah, and also CM Punk and John Cena had a really great match as well. They tore it down, and then that ending though was really good. I know CM Punk said in the interview that he did not want to turn heel, because the reason why they turned him heel was because The Rock came back and he wanted to work a bad guy, and that Punk was a champion, and they wanted Punk to work with Rock. Punk was really happy working with Rock, but they wanted him to turn heel. So it was either Punk turns heel or Punk drops the belt to Dan Bryan, and that'll lead Dan Bryan to facing The Rock. So it was a mixed bag, but CM Punk did anyways. But CM Punk had a really good heel one from 2012 to 2013. He had a really great one as a heel. So we're gonna get into this video right here. If this is your first time, this is JPTHEGLOVE74. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content. Let's get into this.
There have been over 1,500 episodes of Monday Night Raw that have aired over its 30-year history. From some of the absolute best episodes we can imagine to some of the absolute worst,
yes.
We have truly seen it all. Monday Night Raw, especially as a young wrestling fan, every week felt like an event, something you just had to watch. And over my almost 20 years of fandom, as someone who has watched many episodes of Raw, there are countless episodes that are ingrained in my brain. But when I think back and think of the Raw episode, the episode of Raw that just feels like the perfect episode, there's only one that comes to my mind, and it's an episode that isn't even from my prime years of being a fan, but it's an episode that was the best celebration of Raw we had ever seen. It was July 23rd, 2012. It was the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw. Probably the most hyped up episode of Raw in all my years of my fandom. For myself and many others, this was the last Raw episode where it really felt huge, where it felt like the world was watching, shit was going down, you had to watch, and an episode that really delivered on the hype. It was a 1000 episode. All these legends were advertised. The Rock was going to be there, DX, Taker, and more.
I forgot about DX.
Was a real main event, a real money match. CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship 1 year after their 5-star classic. It doesn't get bigger than that. Commercials were everywhere. Online promotion was going crazy. The WWE hadn't promoted an episode of Raw like this in years, and honestly, they haven't since. And this episode came at the perfect time for me. I was 13 years old in 2012, and as someone who was getting older and older, after the huge highs of WrestleMania 28, I was slowly kind of losing interest in wrestling, and I was at the point where I wasn't watching every week. There's only so much John Laurinaitis versus John Cena a man can take. This was an episode that even got me. I was like, nah, I gotta watch this. Legends are back. The main event is huge. The last true 3-hour special, it was Summer Vacation. WWE 13 had just been announced the week before. The vibes were immaculate. I was hoping that this would be something to hook me back again. Bring me back to wrestling. Make me feel something again. And they dropped probably my favorite episode of Raw ever. But before that, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video. As you guys know, I've been a content creator now for almost 5 years, and over the years I've had a lot of fun doing this, and it has truly been a blessing. But with all the fun, there's also been some struggles behind the scenes. From constant stress to imposter syndrome, there's been a lot of anxieties that have come with this job that I never really expected. And for the longest time, these were all things that I wanted to get professional help for, but I just never really knew where to start, where to begin, or where to go. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a service that connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using my link down in the description down below, betterhelp.com/WrestlingGifs, you answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. And the best part is you can do it all from your phone or computer. You can do it via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. It is the easiest possible way to get in touch with a therapist. And after signing up, you'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours. So let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/WrestlingGifs or choose WrestlingGifs during sign-up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Shout out to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video, but let's get into it.
Amen. Let's get into this.
Raw 1000 was legendary. The episode begins and instantly it was a new era. Brand new intro, brand new stage, brand new logo, brand new theme song, brand new whip, no keys, and they open up Raw 1000 with a DX reunion. Triple H and Shawn Michaels come out back when they were a little younger, and HBK thankfully still had hair. And it was a great way to open up Raw, and what made this appearance special was they really brought out the rest of DX. Sadly, no China, but for the first time since 02, X-Pac was on Raw. Billy Gunn made his first appearance since 04. DX was really reunited this time. Since then, we've had many segments just like this one of DX reuniting, saying their little jokes, woohoo, yay, and low-key, every time, in my opinion, it just gets cringier and cringier, but here, this was the first time. This was the real reunion, and the people loved it. They do their thing, they slap around Damien Sandow, they get their pyro, the fans love it. And what makes this night special was, it was still an episode of Raw. It wasn't just a retirement home meeting where they're like, hey, let's bring back all these 60-year-old men and have nothing of value go down. Nah, it was still an episode of Raw that mattered. Really mattered. You had DX come out and do their thing. You had The Undertaker save Kane from 2012's Finest Jobbers, which was a really cool moment. You had Heath Slater get his ass beat by Lita in the APA while all these old-timers got to watch it go crazy. All those moments were super fun moments, and they made Raw 1000 such a fun nostalgia trip. And also what made it fun was the legends weren't old yet. Okay, yeah, no duh, they were old, obviously, but they weren't that old, so it just felt a little bit better to watch, if that makes any sense. You weren't worried that one of them was going to collapse any second. It just felt natural and fun and organic, whereas in the future when they try doing this again, it always just felt stale and honestly forced. It's like, oh, no one cares about our current product anyway. But here it was like, nah, you get the nostalgia, you get the fun, you get the legends to do their thing. But then you also have Sheamus, the world champion, going off. You have Miz and Christian put on a pretty solid match, and Miz becoming IC champion for the first time, becoming a Grand Slam champion. You have Triple H coming out after the whole DX thing and beefing Brock Lesnar to set up their SummerSlam match. It was just a really good mix, and never at any point all that was happening on the same show, real shit was going down too, and that's the stuff that got me hooked and brought me back in the summer of 2012. In the middle of the show, we got the crazy anticipated wedding between Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee. Wrestling weddings, for better or for worse, are always memorable, and this one was no different. This was during the time where every boy watching WWE had the biggest crush on AJ Lee. She had boys age 7 to like 50 in a chokehold, literally, not just us fans, but the wrestlers as well. 2012 was a year where AJ Lee got crazier and crazier, and by the summer, she was a huge focal point of the show, and she had every wrestler from Kane to CM Punk to Daniel Bryan going crazy for her. No, literally, the entire roster sipping for her while she was just tweaking. One week she was madly in love with Bryan, the next week she was in the ring proposing to CM Punk while Daniel Bryan's in the ring, and the next week she was putting both of them through tables. It made no sense. But Daniel Bryan, after all that, wanted to lock it down. He wanted to wife this crazy chick, and the week before Raw 1000, he proposed to her. And here we were. It was time for Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee to get married, even though Daniel Bryan broke up with her earlier in the year, but is only doing this because he's jealous of AJ Lee and CM Punk. But it's fine, you know, it wouldn't be a wrestling wedding if it wasn't toxic. But yeah, this was just great television. Everyone was having a good time. Everyone was laughing. Michael Cole was having a blast. And every time there's a wrestling wedding, it's always like, what the hell is going to happen? There's no way these idiots are peacefully going to get married. That's impossible. But not here. Everything was going to plan. Both of them totally came off as normal, functioning people. And even though when it was asked if anyone was against this marriage, 18,000 people said no, it was fine. Everything was on track. Both Bryan and AJ Lee said yes. The marriage was going down until AJ Lee revealed she wasn't saying yes to the marriage, but another proposal. AJ Lee tells the world that nah, she ain't marrying Daniel Bryan. She accepted another proposal for her to become the general manager of Raw. AJ Lee, the crazy, twisted, insane witch who at this point was almost sent to a mental institution, was now going to run the show. Poor Bryan just got clapped. He got embarrassed. He's just there like, what's happening? And he gets left at the altar. AJ Lee leaves him standing, and he just starts going off as AJ Lee with a smile on her face just walks away. A great moment that not many people saw coming. Like, we all knew something was going to go down.
I didn't see it coming either.
That maybe Punk might come out or whatever. But nobody expected AJ Lee to be the general manager. But we knew that was going to be special. So Daniel Bryan's going crazy, and we go to commercial break. And we expected to come back and, on to the next segment. But what made this really fun was we came back from commercial, and Bryan was still in the ring. Bryan is still going off. The referees are trying to get him out of there, and the segment was still going. And then out came CM Punk, the WWE champion. CM Punk comes out, and he comes out to roast Daniel Bryan. He comes out to add insult to injury, and Punk and Bryan are face-to-face in the ring once again. These two had been tearing it down for the past few months. Post-May, they had been carrying hard. So it wasn't out of the ordinary for them to be in the ring together. But then everything changed when The Rock came out. Yo, The Rock comes out and the roof just gets blown off the place. He is going crazy. The mana is in the air, the energy, everything's in the air. The fans are wilding. Rock comes out, and on the 1000th episode of Raw, we get CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and The Rock together in the ring. Imagine just 2 years before this even imagining this. Rock comes out, shits on Bryan, and then tells Punk and the world that the Royal Rumble 2013, doesn't matter who the champion is, he's challenging them for the title. He drops the bomb. The Rock is going for the title. He's taking the title. It doesn't matter who it's from. And Punk and Rock are face to face. It's pretty intense. But The Rock is still goofing around though. You know, it's all buddy. And he goes back to roasting Bryan. And the whole time, CM Punk is just standing there looking like he hates this man, looking like he despises this man. The disdain is all over his face. He's kind of rolling his eyes, but just ever so subtly by the rope, he's by himself, just looking annoyed. But you wouldn't really notice it unless you focus on him. The focus is on Rock, it's on Bryan just getting destroyed. But just these small facial expressions tell the whole story on CM Punk's face. Rock bottoms Bryan, does a little shtick, poses, does his thing. The whole time Punk is just there like, okay. The man who had been champion for 245 days was put on notice, and he definitely noticed. Such a classic segment that had so much go down, you know, between commercial breaks and everything. So much star power, all these twists and turns, so many bombs being dropped, so many seeds being planted, and there you go. AJ Lee was a GM now. Rock was going for the title. Punk is kind of pissed. Bryan gets clapped, which leads him eventually to anger management. It was just such a classic segment. It just captured all the craziness and all the fun stuff that did happen in 2012.
Like I said, this Raw was legendary.
This all led to the main event of Raw 1000. Other than The Rock wrestling or Hulk Hogan telling the truth, back in 2012, it didn't get bigger than this. CM Punk is champion for 245 days against John Cena. One-on-one for the title. Cena, who won Money in the Bank 8 days before this, was cashing in. The third hour of this episode of Raw 1000 had 6.3 million viewers tuned in.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
6.3 million. To say this was huge would be an understatement. Out of every 3-hour Raw in history, this had the most viewers tuned in. And right before the match, we had Rock and Cena face to face, where Cena said it's going to be me and you at the Rumble. But tonight it was Punk and Cena. The rivalry of the era that defined it. You know, like, this was such an iconic rivalry, such a special rivalry. And we were getting it on free television. What a time to be alive.
I know, right?
What's crazy about this match was I vividly remember this. I remember this match started at 10:59 p.m. 3 hours into the show.
Wow.
Like, usually Raw ended at 11. Yeah, an overrun. But technically Raw is supposed to end at 11. This match started at 11. And I remember watching it, and when it was like 11:03, 11:04, it's like, is it going to end now? Is it going to end now? What's happening? They're still wrestling. It doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. The whole time I'm just like, what the f*** is going on? Cena and Punk go at it. They do their thing. Their crowd is hot. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. And this was back in 2012. In hindsight, we all know what happened. But back then, it was pretty unpredictable. A lot of people wanted Cena to lose and become the first person to cash in and lose, because at that point, nobody had cashed in and lost. But then on the flip side, it was like, wait, Punk has been champion for 245 days, right? Like, it's bound to end soon. Super Cena was Super Cena. And I was like, hey, it is the 1000th episode of Raw. Maybe the company wants it to end on a high note with John Cena, you know, surviving and being champion. It's actually pretty crazy, because if you go back and look at predictions for Raw 1000, a lot of people had Cena winning this. Bleacher Report before the show actually had Cena winning and him and Rock becoming official for SummerSlam 2012. Wrestling Observer before the show reported a huge angle was planned for tonight. Like, anything could have happened. Everything was up in the air. Nobody knew what was going to happen. But in the ring, these two were tearing it up. It wasn't on the level of Money in the Bank 2011 or anything, but the crowd was hot and they were just getting into their zone. But just 7 minutes into the match, the ref bump happens, and at that point, it's like, all right, the shenanigans are about to begin. Cena hits the AA, the referee is nowhere to be found, right? And instead of a new referee, this fat ass comes out. Big Show. Big Show, just like always, came down to ruin everything. Because Big Show just had to be in the main event scene. Here he was. So Cena goes back in the ring, and Big Show tweaks. He tweaks like it's WWE 12, and he just lays it all on the line and hits a crazy spear. Just like a straight Neanderthal. So Big Show kills Cena, and the whole time Punk is just there like, oh, okay, what? Like, do I even get involved? Do I let him do his thing? Do I want to be involved in this? Punk doesn't do anything and just chills there, and Cena is right there ready to be pinned. Punk at this point had been a face for over a year. He was the face champion, always basically overcoming the odds, always finding a way, kind of doing the right thing, and he basically won every match clean as far as I can remember. He was a typical clean, good baby face, but now he's in a situation where it's like, does he take the dirty win or nah? He was clearly conflicted. He was second-guessing everything. The man was having a midlife crisis way before the UFC was involved. But like a normal person with actual brain cells, he goes for the win. But Cena kicks out. Cena kicks out. Of course, Cena kicks out. And Punk is just like, oh, he goes for the GTS, and out of nowhere, Cena presses triangle, reverses the GTS, and boom, he has the STF locked in. There are grown men jumping for joy in the background when Cena locked in the STF. It is crazy. Cena has it locked in, and it's like, wait, is he going to tap? No way. No way. And of course, Big Show is back, and boom, DQ. Punk retains the title, don't finish. And it's like, wait, what? Really? Big Show starts speaking on Cena, and it's just like, damn, like, they really had us. We watched this for 3 hours, and 3 hours and 15 minutes into this is what we get? A stupid DQ after an amazing night, after all this hype for this match. This is what we get, a DQ. We thought this match was going to be a classic. Nah, bro, it was like 10 minutes and we had a stupid DQ and stupid Big Show was involved. So Big Show is beating up Cena and Punk is just watching.
He is not like Big Show.
Massacre in there, but Punk is just watching, just whatever. It looks like he wants to help, but he doesn't, right? It's cooked. He is limping a little bit. He doesn't feel like helping. But you know who does want to help? The Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy comes down and The Rock is running for his life. He's running to the ring full speed. He charges in there. Punk leaves the ring. Rock cleans house. Veins are literally popping out of his neck in places that I didn't know had veins. Hits Big Show with a spine buster. I guess it's time for The Rock to close the show. Close out Raw 1000. Send the fans home happy. It's time for the people's elbow. And boom.
Bam. Yep.
CM Punk lunges and nails The Rock. The Rock looks like he just got shot. He looks like he just got a quick scope to the dome and he just lost a search and destroy round. And CM Punk, looking like the demon that he is, just looks at him. He is just eyeing him down with the same disdain that he showed on his face earlier that night. An insane plot twist out of nowhere. CM Punk has turned heel, has attacked The Rock, and now he's taunting him. He wants him to get up, and he hits him with the GTS. And ladies and gentlemen, Raw 1000 ends with CM Punk. CM Punk, after being champion for 245 days, retaining, turning heel, and standing tall over The Rock and John Cena. Literally one of the greatest heel turns I've ever seen.
I agree.
What a moment. When CM Punk hits The Rock and you see that happening, it's one of those moments where you just stand up and you're like, whoa. It was one of those moments when it just happened, you were just amped. You were just hyped. You're like, oh, they're going there. They want to do it like this. Like, you just couldn't help but be hyped, no matter if you're a Punk fan or not. It's like, all right, they went there. I respect it. What a moment. What a night. One of the most hyped up episodes of Raw ever ends like this. And a turn that no one really saw coming before this, but once it happened, it was like, this makes all the sense in the world. It was completely justified. It goes back to last year, from the pint bomb mentioning Dwayne to Dwayne coming in and just telling Punk that he's getting a title shot and there's nothing he can do about it, to Punk's facial expressions during The Rock's promo earlier in the night. It all comes full circle. Punk, who's already having a crisis on whether to be a good guy or a bad guy when he was involved with Cena and Show, knew what he had to do once he saw Dwayne. Once he saw Dwayne run down, I was like, all right, it's on site. Just a perfect angle, a perfect storyline, and the perfect ending to one of the best Raw episodes ever. There is just something about this episode that I adore. It brings me back to such a fun time, such a fun night. Even though this didn't take place in my prime years, like, this wasn't an episode of Raw from 06 or 08. It still just hits different. The nostalgia mixed in with a crazy heel turn, it was just perfect. I remember after this staying up all night on the internet, just trying to get any news I could possibly get on CM Punk turning heel, seeing what the other kids were saying on Facebook, all the older kids, what was the wrestling world saying, what was this guy, that guy. The wrestling world online was on fire, and as someone who was never really the biggest CM Punk fan, I always respected him, but he was never really like my guy. I was never all in. This was where like, all right, like, I'm in. The WWE for once hyped up a big show, hyped up this crazy main event, all this stuff, and they actually delivered. They actually delivered some bombs, many bombs. The WWE in 2012 after WrestleMania 28, honestly, it was not good, right? It was not good. But this night made it feel special again. This night brought me back into this day. This is what they've tried to recreate so many times, right? Whenever they do the reunion shows or anniversary shows, the legends come back, this and that, they always try to recapture this. But they can't. Is it the best Raw episode ever? I don't know. Probably not. But it's up there. It's definitely up there. Just the fact that this is one of the most hyped up episodes of Raw ever, and it's somehow delivered, just makes it legendary. What a night. What a heel turn. What a special time. In the comments down below, let me know, what memories do you have of Raw 1000? Where were you? How are you watching? What was your reaction? Did you see the heel turn coming? Did you not see coming? What was your reaction for the heel turn? Anything about Raw 1000, let me know down below in the comments.
Amen.
Maybe one day, just one day, we'll get an episode of Raw hyped up like this again. Probably not. But whatever. Let me know down below. It's your boy Pav, aka WrestlingGifs. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys with the next one very, very soon. Till then, though, take it easy. Later, guys.
So yep, I agree with him. Definitely. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Raw 1000 is definitely if not the best episode in Raw history. One of the best ever. Like he said earlier, the CM Punk heel turn. Even though CM Punk said many times in interviews he did not want to turn heel, it still let it happen. But it did went down as one of the best heel turns ever because in my opinion, I feel like CM Punk's best work was from 2012 to early 2013 as a heel. Cause I felt like CM Punk was really reaching that pinnacle. Like he shaved his head. He started taunting the crowd. He had Paul Heyman as his manager. Now he really didn't need Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman was supposed to be used to help get superstars over and to help them with the mic skills and just be like a spokesperson. But he really did not need to manage CM Punk because CM Punk is better by himself. Like he's deaf because he's the best in the world. He's already a monster on the microphone, so he really didn't need. Punk didn't really need Heyman, but they really meshed well together as a duo. They work together. So CM Punk's heel turn, in my opinion, is one of the best heel turns ever. And if you guys don't know, Stone Cold Steve Austin was supposed to be at Raw 1000 that year, but then Austin had to pull out because I think he had knee surgery. He had knee surgery, which forced him out of Raw 1000. That's why he couldn't make the show because he had a knee surgery. But it's still one of the best Raws ever. Like from the DX reunion to Triple H Brawl, listening having that brawl, that really good brawl, to that really good main event between CM Punk and John Cena with that great ending too, with CM Punk's heel turn, and also the wedding of AJ Daniel Bryan, just AJ Lee just sticking to Daniel Bryan and just whew. Yes, definitely one of the best Raws ever. What y'all think in the comments? Do y'all think Raw 1000 is one of the best episodes in Raw history? Leave your comments down below. And subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content. And also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. This is your boy, JPTHEGLOVE74, signing off. You guys have a great day. God bless y'all. Peace.